Going to the gym and looks maxing doesn't make you special anymore. All of those things almost everyone does by now, okay? Almost every other retard is looks maxing to some extent and going to the gym. Of course, we can argue about like how many people actually train really hard, but even then, the number isn't as small as you might think it is. My name is Nathan, I'm not a success guru, but I do believe I have some interesting insight when it comes to human nature, self-improvement and masculinity. Going to the gym and looks maxing is clear, predictable, doesn't have as much ambiguity, and respectively it's not as much psychologically challenging, and that's why almost every other retard can actually do them. Conversely, the things that actually give you advantage in the modern world, especially if you're a teenager, is the things that have what I call the gray hustle, things that are ambiguous, things that at first a lot of your effort feels pointless, it feels like you make no progress and the feedback is broken, like things that Jenny you cannot be sure if you actually have any progress. But remember, just because something is hard doesn't mean it's good and you should invest your effort into it. The things that I will speak about in this video are actually things that we humans subconsciously value, and they are difficult, which makes the bar to entry higher, which make you special if you just enter it. The first one being is fighting and martial arts. This is the transition from the gym to a more transcendent self-improvement. You see, the reason why it is important for us humans, the reason why we value it in the first place is because throughout our evolutionary history we never had the safe times, we always needed warriors, and when it comes to fighting, this is one of the clear indicators of toughness in the modern world, of competitiveness, of discipline. Literally, like being a footballer is nice. I'm saying this as someone whose life was about football. People respected me way more just knowing I do kickboxing as a hobby. If somebody sees you shadowboxing and it's smooth and it's clean, their perception of you is so much more than what would be if you were just, I don't know, a fucking bodybuilder. Now, the obstacles in the journey of martial arts and fighting is pretty clear. It is painful, you will get hit, it is scary because fighting people is scary at first, and this is a clear human nature law. You see, you will adapt to anything if you just stick to it to a long enough time. So if you actually want to start martial arts to some extent, remember to not get discouraged because you're absolutely stressed shit or it's very painful at first, because after a month, after 2 months, it will be like second nature, and generally, although it still will be difficult, it will be much more tolerable than what it was at first. Second one is business, side hustle and money. This one should go without saying because money is the modern battlefield. This decides everything. Fuck martial arts, fuck the gym, fuck looks maxing. If somebody is rich, he is more powerful in the modern world. And with that being said, if somebody told me if he was a teenager and he makes some money from a side hustle or from a business that he started, even if the money he makes is less than actual job, I would still be so fucking impressed. And I will argue that most people would be very impressed too, because this is also a clear indicator of something extraordinary. Starting a business, like doing all of this stuff, is fucking complicated. So if you can actually start even to make some money, not only it will benefit your life, but will also absolutely status max you. Now, the obstacles here are the most ugly and the gray hustle, because when you start a business, when you start a side hustle, you have no fucking clue what is the progress, because you could go months without making any money and then boom, your first client, your first 2-3 clients, and you start to make money. I'm not somebody who actually started to make money, but I can say with the side hustles that I tried, it is like this. Most of your progress is invincible until it is. So put the effort in, constantly improve yourself, and then wait until it finally breaks out. Now, the third and the last one is social media presence. This one should also go without saying. If people know you have many fucking followers and you have a lot of presence on social media, it does bring you a lot of value, especially knowing it takes courage and most people are afraid, and if you have a lot of followers, it is this artificial metric of status. Even from my own personal experience, I'm not some social media influencer, but I do have 2 accounts on TikTok. One has 2,000 followers and the other close to that in a sense. And my actually account got sort of leaked in the first days of school, and although I was a little bit embarrassed, it gave me a huge boost in attention and status. As corny as it might sound, people did start treating me a bit different. People were a little bit even intimidated. They might laugh behind your back, kinda laugh to try and play it out, but at the same time there is a source of intimidation knowing you can do something that most people are just afraid to do. Now, as a summary and very important words of encouragement, I want you to remember this life law, and that is the power law distribution, which is a statistical pattern where most people will be at the very low value level, but then because the limit is absolutely like there is no limit, and because the more you have from something, the more you can actually get from it, you can see people that are extraordinary way more frequently. Basically, most people will be absolutely nobodies, while there will be a lot of rare individuals who have everything. And that's what will happen with those things. At first, you will have zero money at business. You will have very low views on social media. You will be really fucking bad at martial arts. But through compounding effort, you will in the end become that extraordinary individual that doesn't just go to the gym and looks max, but also has something very special to him.